Everybody's here. I like it.
Everybody got camera speed? You good? All right, thank you.
Good. All right. Game week is finally here. Our guys are definitely excited. I'm having to remind them we still have several days to get ready, and we don't need to peak until 4 o'clock on Saturday. But we're all excited. I'm also excited to see our fans, and it's just been a lot of energy here over the last month. Speaking to a lot of our alumni, a lot of our boosters and fans. I know we're going to have a great crowd at Ray J. Also seeing so many of our students. We had the green and gold ball drop in the Marshall Center last week. We had the freshman pep rally on Friday, over 1,000 freshmen there. And then last night I got a chance to talk to our band, and they're ready to go. So really looking forward to a great atmosphere at Ray J at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Taking on a very talented team. The more you dive in and really study BYU, I mean, this is probably one of their best teams they've had the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, they've got 19 returning starters with a lot of experience coming back on a team that won 10 games last year. And Coach Sataki's doing a great job with his team and football program. They're ranked preseason in the top 25. So I think that tells you what everybody thinks about them. To me, it starts with their quarterback. Jaren Hall, is a fifth-year senior, a really talented player. He's going to be a draftable quarterback after this season. Throws the ball extremely well, runs very well. He's a guy that you really have to account for with both his arm and his legs. The next thing that stands out is their wide receiver core, really explosive at the wide receiver position. They like to throw the ball downfield. They like to take their shots. They've done a good job with that. Very strong and athletic with their offensive line. Their left tackle's a top draft pick. I believe he's about 6'7", 6'8", 340 pounds. One of the best tackles in the country, and a lot of experience coming back there. And then they added a very talented running back in Chris Brooks from Cal, 235-pound running back. He had a great year last year at Cal. Very explosive player, powerful guy. So they're definitely in good position there. Defensively, again, a lot of starters, guys that have played a lot of ball together. Very disruptive up front with their defensive line. Really good speed at linebacker and in the secondary. On paper and looking what they have coming back, they've got a very complete team. So a huge challenge for us, but like we talk about, with challenges come opportunities. And for us to be able to kind of see where we are this year with this team, it's going to be a great kind of measuring stick to see where we are versus a top 25 team in the first game. So excited to see our guys get out there and compete. And I know they'll be ready. Again, the off-season, winter, spring, summer workouts, fall camp has been, the best that it's been since I've been here. So I have no doubt in my mind that we're better. Now, how much better and how that measures up against a very talented top 25 BYU team coming in, we'll find out on Saturday. So, I think, for us, it's really about using these next 3 days to kind of hone in and really take ownership of our game plan. I think our coordinators have done a good job. Our game plan is in. Our game plan was done yesterday. So really it's just, getting a lot of repetitions and different looks. I think that's one of the challenges for everybody in opening games is you're going off a video from last year. Well, there's a lot of things that change, right? You get different personnel. They added a couple of different pieces out of the transfer portal just like we did, and how they want to use them and what positions, and maybe off-season study by their coaches, just like we've changed some things in the off-season. You don't really know till you get out there, and I think the first quarter and your season openers are really important to kind of figure out exactly what their plan is, and for us to be able to go out and execute our plan. So looking forward to it, and we'll use these last few days to get ready. With that, I'll open up for any questions.
Coach, when you play Brigham Young, it's a unique challenge because with their missionary year or two, you're dealing with NFL-age players there. How much of a problem is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt they've got guys older than some of our guys. I think for us, if there's been ever any years where you have some guys that are getting up there in age, it would be this year because of the COVID, the super senior with a lot of our guys that come back in their fifth and sixth year. But at the end of the day, I don't think that really plays into it a whole lot. They have a very, unique model that kind of works with them and their mission and everything that they do. And I fully respect that. But at the end of the day, when that ball's put on that tee and they kick the ball off, I don't really see that having a tremendous impact one way or the other.
Jeff, what would you like to, obviously you won't win the game, but what would you like to see out of Gary and your team? What are some of the things you're going to be looking for?
Yeah.
in the first game?
Yeah, well, first thing we talk about is I want to see what our best looks like, whatever that is. Each year, your best may be different. I want to see what our best looks like on offense, defense, and special teams. That's really the standard. Obviously we want to win the game, but you can't focus on winning the game, right? You have to focus on internally how you do what you do and working to do everything at the best version that we can do it. So that would be number one. And then maybe more specifically, I'd love to see Gary. It's going to be his first time on the field, with this offense and with this team. And I want to see him doing a great job of really driving the car and really kind of moving that offense and directing traffic and all the things that go on in a game where you've got to help guys get lined up. You've got to be able to make the calls and adjust to blitzes. And so really just being a communicator, being the leader on game day like he's been in practice and in the meeting rooms, and then just playing within himself. That's really what I'm looking for from him. And then defensively, I want to see us obviously play well, execute our game plan. But, some things from last year to this year, we got to be able to eliminate the big plays. I mean, you go back and look at this game last year, and it got away from us really quickly in the first quarter because it was 3 big plays, and all of a sudden it's 21-0. And then from that point on, we played well, but when you give someone that big of a start, it's really difficult. So really eliminating the big plays, and then, I want to see us get better pressure on the quarterback, and, I want to see our defensive linebackers really creating pressure, on their offense, something that we really haven't done my first 2 years.
Jeff, as you start the season with Gary in charge, with his level of experience, how would you describe your level of confidence in having a guy like that to run your offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously quarterback is one of the most pivotal positions, and then having someone, I definitely would say going into it's the first year since I've been here where I really felt like we had a veteran guy that's been through some major battles and also been successful on big stages. Is he going to be perfect? No, he's not. There's not many of those guys out there, but can he play to the standard we need him to play to for us to be able to win? I believe he can do that. But yeah, there's no doubt. That's a box that's been checked, but now he's got to go out and do it. It's a new year and it's a new team and obviously a first game, but I'm definitely confident in Gary, moving forward going into the season.
Jeff, when's the last time you've been around a team this season, just in terms of career starts? In that perspective, you've got a very, very seasoned team.
Yeah, it's hard to go back and these last 3 years, I can't even remember anything past that right now. I would say that it is unique. And so the positive is we've got a lot of guys coming back. The other side of it is everybody else does too, right? I mean, there's a lot more older, mature guys at all these teams. I mean, you obviously take BYU, the guys are already older. Well, now those guys can come back for another year, and the teams we played the next couple of weeks will be the same way. But yeah, there's definitely a maturity, I think, that comes with that. I think it's probably more important for people that are in our situation going into the third year of really kind of changing a culture, changing the standards of how we do things, to really have that senior group last year be able to come back for another year, because not only are they doing that, but they're modeling, those behaviors and actions to the guys below. So there's no doubt it's a good position to be in. But we're not the only ones with the older guys. Everybody, this year is going to be able to enjoy that really for the next couple of years.
Jeff, adding to the mix of the experience that comes back with returning players you have the 15 transfers out of the portal. What impact have they shown you early on so far before?
Yeah, I think the good thing about that is the majority of them are really outside of Gary and maybe Chris Matillo, but the majority of them came in January. So really they've been here for 8 complete months. And so the good news is, you brought that up, I don't even think about them being transfers anymore because they went through our winter workouts, they went through spring ball, they went through summer workouts, they went through fall camp, and so in this new age of where we are, I mean, that's about as long as anybody's together, going into a season. So I think the good news is it probably feels normal. It doesn't feel like it's some big deal going into the first game because all those guys, the majority of those guys have been here since January. But I think the biggest thing for us, I feel like we've added depth and we've added some length and some talent at certain positions. And it's the first time, since the 3 years that I've been here, going into the third year, where I feel like we have the depth that you need to go into a season to be able to compete. And hopefully we're going to see that depth and these guys, lead to some victories for us this fall.
Jeff, how's everything on the health front to that extent? How's Kelly's recovery coming along?
Yeah, Kelly's doing well. He's out there. He's still, has a cast and all that. He's got a few more weeks to go. But overall, I feel like we're pretty healthy as a team. We kind of slowed it down last week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Really just kind of doing walkthroughs and not really anything full speed, so that the guys would show up on Monday really, full speed, feeling good. Coming out of fall camp, everybody's dealing with hamstrings and groins and shoulders and all these kind of things. And so I think the 3 days that we gave them off really put guys in a good spot. So I think considering coming out of a fall camp, I feel like we're in a really good position from a health perspective. Obviously, got 2 more days to go here before Saturday.
Coach, when you looked at week 0 in the NCAA, especially in the South, what really jumped out at you was the inclement weather. I know you can't control that, but you can prepare for it. A lot of wet ball drills this week?
Yeah, that's a very strong observation. That was probably my number one observation from week 0 was the rain and wet balls. We do work wet balls and inside and some Pascal and some different things. But it kind of reminded me actually of going back years ago. I think it was 2015 at Clemson. We're getting ready to play Notre Dame, and they've got this monsoon coming just short of a hurricane. And all of a sudden on Wednesday, I started panicking as, one of the offensive coordinators and wideout coach, because our players hadn't really practiced in the rain in the last 4 years because we had a new indoor facility. And so, really I was kind of thinking about that this past weekend. Not because our indoors are quite ready yet, but in the mornings we really don't get rain. It's all in the afternoons. And so really the things you think about are using the wet ball during practice, and then also having a plan for the lightning delay. And we spent some time this week really kind of, since we have new coordinators, and kind of fine-tuning what that looks like if we have to go inside with a lightning delay, what exactly we're going to do minute by minute to make sure that we use that time to the best. So, yeah, there's no doubt that's part of it. But ultimately, big picture, the message to our guys is, external factors cannot have, any impact. I mean, you don't see a game with rain and all of a sudden some team win that's not supposed to win. At the end of the day, as long as it's raining on both sides, the best team's going to win, and you've got to be able to mentally and physically be able to work through, any of those external factors.
Jeff, with as much as going on in the program, you're going to open indoor, you're working towards a stadium, you want to be upwardly mobile in this ever-changing atmosphere, and you have this opportunity. How important is it to win? I know you want to win every game, but just from a perception, confidence standpoint, if you can do this on Saturday, how big will it be?
Absolutely. It's very important. I mean, obviously, we want to win every game that we have. We always talk about, your next game's the biggest game of the year. And there's no doubt, this is for us going into the season. It's the next game. It's the biggest game of the year. And I think, for us, you look at the 4 of the teams that are moving up into the Big 12. We play all 4 of them this year. So we're going to get an opportunity to see how we match up against them. And, we want to make sure that when people, look at the landscape of college football, and next time there's a chance for a realignment, we want them to look at South Florida and say, hey, those guys can compete and those guys deserve to move up. And there's a lot of factors that go into that, but probably the number one factor is you're winning on the field. And so there's no doubt that's important. I think, it's not something we spend a lot of time thinking about. Those are things that maybe you talk about at the beginning of fall camp and kind of talking big picture. Now everything is about the process that's required to win. But there's no doubt, if we're fortunate to play well enough to earn a victory Saturday, that'll be a big moment for kind of our process in our journey this season.
You guys have gotten a chance to study BYU over the last 2 seasons. What necessarily can you take away, not from their on-field play, but maybe some of the stuff from they do off the field? Coach Sataki, obviously they have a unique way of doing things.
Yeah, well, I would say, I know our people hear me talk about this word all the time, but culture. I mean, they've got an incredible culture there at BYU, and Coach Sataki does an exceptional job. And I mean, and again, I think he's going into maybe year 5 or year 6 as the head coach, right? And you're seeing that, right? You're seeing that consistency. And now, last year and this year going into his best seasons. And so I think the biggest thing that you see a team that's disciplined. Very rarely do you see guys, going the wrong direction. I mean, they're not giving up cheap plays. They know their scheme defensively, offensively. They know what they do. And their players, play it very well. They play together. There's a oneness, very similar to how we won at Clemson with the culture that we had. When you played one of us, you play all of us. And that's what you see when you turn on the video watching BYU. I mean, these guys play very, very well together, and they have a lot of confidence, and that comes from, their success that they've had in the past.
They specifically wanted to ask about Joe, and how he's worked out, and what your expectations are.
Yeah, Joe is one of those guys that's taken a big step from where he was in spring practice to where he is now. I felt like in the spring, it was a little slower for him than probably he wanted than I wanted to kind of see him be able to elevate himself into being a major factor for us. But I think through his work this summer and really getting in the playbook and studying the playbook and all the things he needs to do there and just working on his body, he's lost some weight. He looks really good. And, he's been one of the most consistent players for us throughout fall camp. And I fully expect that to translate into Saturday. I think he's going to get plenty of opportunities, and I think that's a really good 1-2 punch there with him and Xavier Weaver at one of our most critical positions with the wideouts.
Where are you anticipating to see the biggest improvement with this team this year?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to give one specific area. I want to see the biggest improvement of how we finish games, right? And obviously, people that follow us closely, last year there were a number of games that we were right there through 3 quarters. We were in position to really to win the game. It was right there, and we didn't get it done. And it wasn't just one side of the ball or one group or one mistake. It was a combination of things. And I think for me, it's a mindset of how you finish. And that's been a big focus for us, throughout the off season. We got to be at our best right there in the 4th quarter and be able to close out. And when you're playing good teams like we're going to play Saturday, I mean, these games are going to come down to who plays consistently, for 4 quarters. You go back to, watching last week, week 0, right? And, I think Northwestern was down 11 points, late in the 3rd quarter, halfway through the 3rd quarter, right? But they stay consistent, they continue to believe, continue to execute, stay with the process, and then they were able to come out, with the victory. And so I think that's the area that we haven't done a great job of. We've had games where we popped out with good energy early on, and we've had games where we're maybe slow at the beginning, but to be able to play for 4 quarters, that's the biggest thing that I'm looking to see out of this team.
Don't onside kick up 11, right?
Oh man, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna.
That's got to be painful as a coach
Yeah.
to watch somebody have to sit up there and actually say, "Hey, we did it."
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing when, I've coached 20 years and been on the sidelines for 15 years before that. There's a lot of things that happen. There are things that, on Wednesday night look really good, and then you get in the game on Saturday and maybe they're not what you want them to be. So, that's part of it. Those are difficult. It's kind of like trick plays. When they work, you're the hero. When they don't, it's like, why in the world did they do that? That's kind of how those go. But I think at the end of the day, it's about, having your plan and being confident in your plan and letting the guys go out and execute that. And you can't play scared. We're going to be aggressive. I think one change for us this year is we really kind of got locked in on the analytics and really using that as an added resource. I think if you look over the last 2 or 3 years in college and NFL, you're seeing a lot more people going for it on 4th down at the right time. And so that's something that we've really studied. And again, we're not going to let the book make the final decisions for us. At the end of the day, I got to make the final decisions, but having that added resource, I think, is something that could help us, in these games this season.
When you have 2 new coordinators, when you have 2 new coordinators, is there any bit of a learning curve as you get into game day, just communication, working, getting plays in, all that?
And we spent time doing as best we can with that. I mean, we had the kind of mock game on Saturday at Ray J and put the coordinators up in the box away from, and did it exactly like how they're going to call plays down to the sidelines and how Coach Sims will be the one kind of giving the play in the huddle to the defense, going on the field, and Coach Bentley, to the offense. And so there's definitely, that's a lot of the things really that we've been meeting on as coaches and communicating to our players, just making sure we don't take any of that for granted. And, again, the fact that both of them have been here, since January, I think is, makes us feel confident going into this game.
Talk about analytics. How much do you look at the statistics, over the last year and where you're trying to improve with the team? Look just at the passing game alone, and just 6 touchdown passes last year. Is that an area that has to see addressed?
Yeah, I think, we always do that at the end of the season. You really kind of take that December, January, February time to kind of self-evaluate where you are and areas you need to make improvements. And, there's definitely a lot of those areas, and absolutely passing game, passing touchdowns. I mean, this age of college football, you can't just, survive just on, running the ball 3 and 4 yards every time. You got to mix in some explosive plays down the field. And I'm excited to watch Gary and these wideouts be able to do that. And then that's really just going to open up, the running game more. When you don't have the explosiveness in your passing game, it makes it very difficult, for that offensive line, tight ends, and running backs.
I don't want to belabor this point, Jeff, but this is an incredible opportunity for you guys. I don't know if you like the term statement game or springboard game, but it seems like that's what this is this Saturday for this program.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt. I mean, I think kind of the word that I've been using with our team is we're going to have several opportunities this year kind of for those breakthrough moments, and just for our program to really take that next step. We've got to be able to go out and have success versus good teams like BYU. There's going to be several others on our schedule where we'll have some more opportunities, but this is a really big one, and I think to start off the season, if we're able to go out and play well and earn a victory, it's not really about our guys, I think, proving to our fans or anybody. It's really just the confidence that comes from, being able to go out and have success versus a very good team. And then, I've just seen that in my previous stop. The confidence that comes with that, man, really becomes contagious for your guys moving throughout the rest of the year. So there's no doubt. I mean, I'd much rather be playing a game like this than maybe one that you're, favored heavily or something like that. I mean, I think it's made the off season and fall camp, really intense. Our guys have been very focused because they know how big of an opportunity we have here Saturday.
Coach, it's hard to explain to someone who hasn't been on the sideline what goes on between the 25-yard lines during a game. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the chaos that's going on down there? Is it probably a 12 or a 13?
Yeah, I think the best thing is you want to kind of be like the duck, right? You want to be able to keep a cool, calm head and be able to eliminate the clutter. But under the water, yeah, there's a lot of things going on. It's probably a good thing that the audio from the headsets is not turned over to the public or even to the team after the game. I mean, that's all part of it. I mean, I tell our guys all the time, it's not just the plays on the field. You're competing when you're on the sidelines with your communication and how we get things corrected. If there's a mistake, how do we get that communicated to the players so that we go out and we're not, correcting that on Sunday. We can correct it, during the game. But no, that's part of it, and that's part of, what practice and all these things is, you're constantly communicating with the players and the coaches with each other. And but you got to jump out there and do it. There's only so many mock practices and scrimmages. You got to go kick that ball off and go play. So looking forward to that.
With all the work you guys have put into the offseason, are you sensing that these guys know it's game week, they're just kind of bouncing off the wall?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely having to tell them, whoa, not sick them this week. I mean, there's definitely the guys are ready to go play right now. I mean, Coach Shoops made the statement that if we were kicking the ball off this afternoon, our defense would be ready to go out and play. Luckily for us, we've got a couple more days to kind of fine tune and get everything there. But I think the important thing, everybody's excited to start the season. I mean, that's the number one word everybody's going to use, and that's the number one description. But the most excited team's not going to win on Saturday, right? It's the team that can execute the best for 4 quarters. And that comes from practice. So we got to turn that energy and excitement into focus and intensity in practice, into executing, so that when we get a chance, in the games, we can go be at our best.
How are you feeling, Jeff?
I'm feeling good.
Are you anxious to get
I'm confident. I'm excited. I think, right now it's still Tuesday. As coaches, you kind of have, mentally kind of how you prepare. We still got, work to do, and we're still, even though we have the game plan in, we're refining things and doing all the things to get ready for the first game. But I'm confident. I'm excited to watch these guys play, just all the hard work that they put in. And it's not going to be perfect. It never is. But it's the teams that can go out and find ways to respond anytime that there's adversity and be able to stay focused anytime that there's success, right? We talk about being a one-play warrior. It's just that one-play mindset. You know, what happened the last play, good or bad, you know, that's behind us. Control what you can control, right? It's always about what's in front of us. So really kind of having that mindset for our guys, I think that's kind of where I've seen the most maturity in this group in the offseason, and I'm excited to see how that translates to the game field on Saturday.
Coach, you gonna get a day at Raymond James to walk through or kickers or anything like that?
Well, we did that Saturday. That was kind of our day that we went. We had picture day, and then we really spent about 2 hours kind of doing a mock game and doing a lot of the situations, starting in the locker room and calling the players out according to how it's going to be on game day and the flex and all those things. So we feel confident that we're ready to go there. All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Start with running back Jaren Mangham. 671 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns last year. Big question for Jaren.
Time for payback Saturday, huh?
I guess you could say that. We're just excited, you know, to just get back out there, honestly. I'm just excited for this year's team. You know, the bond that we made over fall camp, grinding through the spring, you know, the long, hot days. And I'm just really excited to just put it all together.
Do you guys appreciate how significant this game is? I mean, there's some momentum around this program. You got the indoor facility, booster donations are going up. There's a lot of momentum, and a win would be pretty significant Saturday. Do you guys appreciate the magnitude of this game?
Yes, of course, but I mean, we appreciate the magnitude of every game, you know, and this is just another stepping stone for us, and we're really just excited to get out there, like I said, and I'm really just excited to see what this year's team can do, honestly.
What are you anticipating to see the biggest difference with this team after watching these guys during the whole spring?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Where are you anticipating the biggest improvements after watching these guys practice and being involved in some of the scrimmages? Have you seen a noticeable difference in certain areas?
Yes, I feel like we just have a lot more depth overall with our team. You know, bigger, faster, stronger. Really, Coach AJ did a wonderful job. We had a very tough, you know, summer and spring, lifting and running wise, and I feel like he got us prepared to be at the highest level and play at the highest level we can possibly.
Jaren, last year at the BYU game in the second half, you know, you guys were challenged, it was loud, and you moved the ball and physically beat them a lot of times. And I know, you know, you guys seem to take a lot of pleasure in that. Is there a carryover and confidence knowing what you guys did when going was down last year?
Yes, I'm very confident in those guys up front. Very confident in GB. I'm very confident in Xavier and the guys that's behind them also. And I'm confident in the defensive guys that we have also. And most of all, I'm very confident in what Coach Scott and Coach Strickland and all of those guys have us set in stone for. And that's, I mean, last year I did feel like we got off to a slow start, and I feel like that hurt us. So, you know, we just got to bounce back, and we watch the film and we study from it, and we learn from it. We learn from it too.
It's no secret. You guys have the lead in the fourth quarter, zeros toting a rock. That's gonna be a lot on your shoulders. How much are you looking forward to closing out that?
Well, you know me, I love that. I feel like I play better under pressure anyway, so I love that, and I love what comes with that also. And like I said, I'll do anything for the team to win, you know, and whatever that is, pass pro, catching the ball out of the backfield, running the ball, whatever I got to do to help put my position, you know, help my team get in the best possible chance of winning, that's what I'm going to do.
Jaren, as you go into the season, what does it mean to you and the other players to have a guy like Gary with his experience, you know, leading the show, so to speak?
I mean, it's very wonderful having GB back there. It's very good for us to have time to build the chemistry. You know, we talk to each other. If we see something, I'll go back and I'll talk with him. If he sees something also, he'll come back and talk with me. So just building that chemistry and just building the overall confidence with us in that backfield, and it's just very exciting. So I just can't wait to just put it all out there Saturday.
Jaren, this team has not defeated a ranked opponent in some time. What would it say y'all were able to beat a ranked team?
Like I said, I just feel like that's just another stepping stone for us. You know, as you can see, the indoor, everything's being built, the stadium, it just seems like everything is just a steady progress with this university that's going up. And I feel like we just have to do our part and just go out there and play our tails off and get the results that we want.
This BYU team does things, very unique with their,
Mhm.
their missions and all that, but they've been very successful. What
Mhm.
do you take away from them as a program and how they do things?
I feel like they're very disciplined. Obviously, that comes with age and growth, and I feel like they have a lot of that. I feel like they're very well trained, very well coached, and they're just overall just greatly experienced, and they're a great program. So I'm very excited to go against them.
Jaren, what do you want to see in practice these last couple days before kickoff?
I just want to see us continue to just focus on the little details, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to come down to it. Making the right plays, having less penalties, no turnovers, things like that is what's going to help us win the game. So I feel like that's what I want to see, and just us continue to improve on like we've been doing all fall camp.
What stood out to you about how Gary runs the offense?
Just like you said, his experience. He came in here. There's not a lot of pressures, looks that he hasn't seen, that he hasn't went against. He's very well experienced. He has great game experience also, and he's very composed when he's back there also, similar to me. So it's just great to have that back there.
Sure, when you went to BYU last year, obviously it was loud, a ton of people there. Now you get them at your place. How important is it for the fans to show up and create a home field?
It's very important. I know that I love the fans, and I know I love seeing the fans at the game, and I know that I love seeing them have a good time at the game. So it's very important. I hope they pack Ray J to the lights, I really cannot wait, just the first game jitters and everything, and just seeing the Bulls fans in the stadium again, it just gives me butterflies. So I'm just very excited. Can't wait.
As you look at this BYU defense on film, what stands out? Is it pretty similar to what you saw last year?
Yes. They run kind of the same things, and obviously they have a lot of their players returning back that they previously had also. They had a couple of players out that were from injuries and stuff like that, so we didn't really get to see them. But watching film and everything, they have a lot of the same people coming back and stuff like that. So I feel like we have a great game plan coming into this game.
Thank you, Jaren.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Daquan Evans, fourth leading tackler last year, 59 stops. Any questions for Day-Day?
Eddie, what are your emotions as you start the season? Jaren was talking about the first game jitters and all that. What are you feeling now with this game coming up?
I've been here for the last 4 years, you can say. So with me, I'm the type of guy, I'm not very emotional getting into the game. I just come prepared and do as my coach them say, whatever my teammates need me to do. So I just take it as the next day going on.
2 number zeros up here today.
Yes.
Okay? That's what you want to see on the sheet when you're done. Nobody catching any ball, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, a lot has been made of the transfers that have been added to the secondary.
Mhm.
You're kind of the guy that's been here the whole time. How, have you welcomed them in? How have you found yourself getting along with your guys? And what's your overall take on that?
With the new transfers coming in, just like, having like a newborn brother coming in, you're going to love him at first sight. So like the new transfers coming in, like AB was a big key transfer that came into the cornerback room. Like we kind of need to help us with the more depth into the cornerback room, more experienced guys. So like, we just welcome arms with him. So that's all I can say.
So when Coach Shoup came in, he made it a priority to say, put pressure on the quarterback, get some sacks, create some havoc. If this happens, how big would it be for you guys on the backside to have pressure or more pressure?
Yeah, the addition with adding Coach Shoup, that's kind of good because, as you know, last season probably didn't have as much pressure as we wanted to. But with him coming in, adding his scheme, giving the cornerback more touches other than just being in man coverage and, covering people and running all day on the field. So it's better for us in the long run to help the team out and, get different looks for each opponent we play in the future.
Every player has a ritual they go through before a game. Socks have to be the right size, put the right shoe on before the left, whatever. Take us through your pregame. When you get to the stadium, what happens?
So basically how we do the bull walk, greet the fans, take off my headphones so I can listen to my music at the time. Once we get past all that, I go back to get in my zone. I listen to like sad music. If y'all don't know the rapper Rod Wave, I just listen to him like reminiscing like where I come from. I think about my mama who passed away. I think about my son. I just think about what I got to do for this game. And I know the coaches depend on me. Coach Shute, Coach Barlow, the whole defense, and even Coach Scott. So I just get in my zone by staying focused and go over the playbook, attention to detail.
What kind of statement could USF make by winning Saturday against a ranked opponent, something you guys haven't done in quite a while?
Bringing back the USF culture. We did it before, saying like we can't do it again. I feel like we're just gonna bring back our USF culture and take each game week by week and just go off that.
What stands out, obviously BYU's got a pretty good wide receiver core. Talks, a couple guys might be out, but just as you break down their film, what looks good?
The thing about them, their receiver core, as you seen last year, they jumped out on us pretty good. Bromley and can't name the other guys. They got some difficult names, but the thing about them, I can say their size and their attention to detail. As you say, they a missionary school and very well coached. They're good guys over there, so that's the thing about it. Their size, speed, and attention to detail.
And you guys have played, this will be the third meeting in 4 seasons, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've been around for all 3 of those
Mhm.
games. Just, has it kind of turned into almost a little friendly rivalry, getting to know some of those guys like that on the other side?
You can say that, a little West Coast, East Coast rivalry, but we wouldn't put it as that. It's just another game on the schedule where both teams just trying to, get better each and every day.
Eddie, last year at BYU obviously is a packed house, very loud, big home court or home field advantage. So what would you like to see on Saturday from your fans and your atmosphere?
The same exact thing. Hope the whole temple come out to come support us, make it a packed house, loud house. Even if BYU fans could come out, support us too, support them. Yeah, I want to see like the first game to be packed out. Because more fans, the better I play. I'm doing it for the Temple community and the USF community. So even my family come out, pack it out too. So I feel like it'd be good.
You probably answered this already sometime, but why'd you pick number 0?
I get this question a lot. Well, when I heard the option number 0 could be open, on the field, I got 0 things in my mind. And I ain't really worried about nothing. So that's why I really chose number 0.
You said your family, you said you had a son?
Yeah.
Tell us more, how old are you?
I got a 5-year-old son I had when I was 15. But basically born 16, 15. His name Daquan Evans. So, yeah.
What's his name?
Daquan Evans.
How do you spell Demani?
D-A-apostrophe-M-A-N-I. Last name Evans, E-V-A-N-S.
Is he young, Day-Day, or has he got some type of an offshoot nickname like that?
I'm the type of parent, I ain't gonna force like no sports on him. I'm gonna let him choose his own path. And whatever he wanna do, I'm gonna support him.
And I've asked you about all the new guys in the secondary, like, you hear it during practice, but who do you anticipate being the biggest talker? I mean, like, smack talker, like, getting you guys going, maybe saying something to the other team.
That ain't what we do though. Like smack talking, trash talking ain't something we do here. Like we line up, we talk in between the lines, but like after the play, everybody just get back to the ball because it's a fast game. So like, I say the whole secondary, if it's time to talk, the whole secondary gonna back each other up. So yeah.
What's the biggest difference between the team now and, say, a year ago before the North Carolina State game? What are a couple things that stand out to you?
A couple things that stand out, I can say, it's more depth. More depth in the room. It's actually just more depth. It ain't really nothing changed. Just everybody just buying in more, playing with a chip over their shoulder, and just doing what USF is to do. Everybody got grit, so we going behind the grit. So everybody just playing with grit now.
It had to be frustrating last year on defense, having 16, 17, 18 guys, getting into that early in the fourth quarter, just having nothing in reserve. Like you said, now you got some depth. How important is that going to be fresh in that fourth quarter?
It's going to be important. That's important anywhere. You got depth anywhere. You can win a lot of games, but even if you don't got depth, if you got dogs on your team and your coach trusting them 11 guys on the field and anybody else trust them 11 to 15 guys, I just do what y'all told to do. Don't make no excuses. Just go out there and play. End of the day, you still got to finish, so that clock say 0-0. So with us, no matter who playing, we still going to finish. That's our goal. We always going to finish no matter what, win or loss.